next one to present on the stage would be Oriol Iborra, the CEO of NIMBLE Diagnostics. Please help me to welcome. Good luck.
Thanks. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Stents are one of the most implanted devices in the world. These are small metallic mesh tubes that are used to reopen blocked arteries and restore the correct flow of blood or other fluids, depending on where they're placed, but basically are used to treat cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks. More than 50 million people currently have a cardiac stent, and more than 4 million new stents are implanted each year. So this is a large problem. And unfortunately, once implanted, stents can become blocked or damaged again, which puts the patient's lives at risk and affects up to a third of the patients during the first 2 years after implantation. And the problem that we are solving at NIMBLE is that currently the only way to know that an implanted stent is working properly is through a very complex, expensive and invasive procedure called catheter angiography, which requires anesthesia, X-ray radiation, hospitalization. All of this means that this cannot be used as a screening tool for asymptomatic patients that may be at risk and increases the incidence of serious complications like a second heart attack, a stroke, or even sudden death that could be avoided only if we knew that there was an underlying problem. That's why we've developed NIMBLE, the first-in-class medical device to monitor implanted stents using microwaves. We have 2 antennas that go on top of the skin, click play, and in less than 5 seconds, we can tell you if the stent is blocked and at what percentage, and if it's broken, what type of fracture, if it's collapsed, etc. We've already validated the technology preclinically, and we have ready the prototype to start the pilot study in our hospital of 120 patients, starting now in June. We have finished the regulatory roadmap, and we have health technology assessment studies that indicate the importance of the market here in this indication, as well as a large network of hospitals that are ready to participate in our clinical trials in 2025. But that's not all for us. We're a pipeline company, and we have also other applications for our technology. Of course, other type of stents, not just cardiac stents, but most importantly, other type of implants, metallic implants like valves, sensors, prosthetics, etc. And even industrial applications, veterinary applications, and miniaturization for the technology in the future for the patient can be used at home. All of this is thanks to our amazing team. We have expertise in engineering, in clinical regulations, in commercialization, as well as a large network of key opinion leaders around the world that help us grow in the right direction. And currently, we are raising our Series A of 12 million euros to include US hospitals in the clinical trials, scale up the manufacturing line, and expand these R&D indications that we can starting to test after we ensure the first indication. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer it.
Can you talk about the current monitoring protocol? So when someone gets a stent currently, how often are they doing these angiographies? It sounds like it's more reactive when something's going wrong. With your device, what do you expect? How often is it going to be done?
Yeah, so currently you implant a stent and the patient goes home. And until the symptoms appear, you can do nothing. So it's already too late, and you have all the problems for the patient and the healthcare system. With our device, we do not create new angiographies, for example, but what we do is we come forward in time, the ones that would be needed at some point, because the diagnosis and the treatment currently are the same. So if you find a problem, you use angiography to diagnose the problem, but as well to put the new stent in place, because that's the solution. If one fails, you put another one in. So what we do is we identify problems early on, and we bring back we bring close into the future the angiography process, but in order to avoid the heart attack. So what you've avoided is having a second heart attack, this complication that can have lots of costs in the future. But we do not replace angiography.
If I work in a hospital who has invested in your system, what kind of return on investment do I expect in terms of cost savings?
So what our health technology assessment analysis have indicated is that we can save up to 2,000 euros per patient using our technology. For example, in a typical tertiary hospital in Spain, we see between 1,000 and 1,400 patients a year. So that could be a savings of 1.6 to 2.5 million euros a year using our technology.
50 million stents already implanted is a lot of stents.
Yeah.
Can you do this with every single stent?
Yeah. And we are a retrofit, so we do not need a baseline measurement and then follow that patient. We can check any patient that already has a stent in place.
Maybe you can guide us through the clinical trial design that you have already ongoing, and especially the validation of, your data point with respect to the real condition of the stent on the patient.
Yeah, because being in a blue space, it's amazing because you're the first one, but that also means that you can't compare your technology to anything else because there's nothing in the market, right? So our clinical trials we have designed them to first have a patient with an implanted stent of more than 6 months, that comes into the clinic with symptoms and has programmed already an angiography procedure. That's what currently is, that's the gold standard, and that's the patient journey nowadays. So to this patient, before having the angiography, you will measure, we'll have a reading with our system, and then they will do the angiography. And we will compare our measurement to the angiography, which is the gold standard. And to that, even though it's not clinical standard, there's imaging techniques that are the state of the art, which are OCT mainly, and IBUS, but OCT it's a little bit better, which is infrared imaging inside the coronary artery. And we will also do that in 30 of the patients to further check our technology. But that's not used in the clinical setting, and we don't need regulatory comparison to that as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Oriol. Wonderful presentation.